So we don't get any new Critter stuff for a long time, and then out of nowhere we get a television series that's on Shudder, which I'm gonna actually watch right after I finish this review right now. And we get a straight to DVD movie called Critters Attack with an exclamation point. At Critters Attack! So I went into this completely blind as usual, and I had heard some pretty mixed things. I heard some people really enjoyed it. I heard others really hated it. But honestly, I might be getting it confused with a new binge or the new binge, which I know is almost all hated. But I can't remember where I was hearing what on what because they came out so close together. I feel like when they're being talked about, I can't differentiate between the two. But I have seen some people say they really enjoyed this. I'm kind of in the middle. I thought it was good. I liked it. I didn't love it by any means, and I definitely didn't hate it. I'm just kind of right in the middle. Where I think this film excelled is in its use of practical effects. All the critters, all of the stuff in this movie is pure practical, and it's fantastic. I don't think there's like almost any CG in the movie at all outside of like laser blasts and stuff. But everything you see is practical, and it's awesome. I thought they did a fantastic job with the critters and this new critter that they have in the movie, which is essentially Gizmo. They kind of went more of the Gremlins route here. So you have like the bad critters, and then you have the one good critter, which is like white, and it's very adorable. It's super cute. So it had a similar feel to something like Gremlins. Now, where this movie was not so great is in its characters and some of the events leading up to things. There's a lot of lackluster stuff in this. There's some buildup and then like little payoff, especially at the end. Like at the very end, I was like, that was it? Like when it ended, I thought there was going to be some big showdown. There was going to be some big final fight, some big, grand finale. And it was just like, boom, done, dead, gone. And I was like, credits. It was just like credits. And I was like, I think they ran out of budget. So Dee Wallace is in this movie. And I was like, oh, is she returning as her character from the first movie? No, she is not. She's a bounty hunter. So I was watching it and I was like, why would you have someone return to a franchise and not have them play the same character from the other movie? And while I was watching it, I was like, wait a minute though. The bounty hunters are able to take on the appearance of anyone that they see. So it would make sense that the bounty hunter took on the appearance of one of the family members from the first Krite attack. That said, unless I missed it, because that does happen, they don't address that at all. And I felt like that could have been a really cool little nod. And if you have Dee Wallace on set, why not have her reprise her role in some capacity? Have her as her character doing something. And then have the bounty hunter meet her, or have them both in the frame together, one over here, and they're talking for a second and she takes on the appearance. He just looks through the window and sees her. He looks at it, whatever. Why she's not acknowledged at all when you have the actual actress back from the first movie. This is the fucking Laurie Strode of, it's the Heather Langenkamp. It's like, what? Why? I guess it would be the Jamie Lee Curtis and the Heather Langenkamp. Whatever. You know what I mean. But I don't get that. It doesn't matter, but I just thought that was really silly. Now the characters in this, they're fine. They're okay. None of them are all that great. No one was overly bad, and no one was overly good. They kind of just played their roles, and that was that. No one's really all that memorable to me. No scene was all that fantastic, but because I was so in love with the practical effects, and there were a couple sequences, there were a couple things in the movie that I was like, oh, that was cute. And then there was like a joke I think the main girl made at one point, or did something fun, actually made me laugh a little bit out loud. And so there was that. But overall, the story is kind of non-existent. It's just, there's no real threat. That's the way it feels in this movie. They're in a town and the critters are everywhere. And this is a budgetary constraint thing. I get it. I understand. But the threat always feels like it's just on them and maybe a couple bystanders that are around. And it's like critters would come and, make a ruckus and rampage the entire place. And then there's other sequences where there's things that are being set up to be something, and then they're nothing, and then characters are just kind of dead or dying, and you're like, wait, what the hell just happened? Why are they dying? What the fuck? So it was kind of confusing that way, and also just lackluster. So the practicals alone for me were worth the price of admission. I dug it. It was at Redbox. I picked it up for $1 because I had rented another movie and threw it in for $1, and I was like, it's time to knock out the new critters. I did all 4 of them maybe a year or 2 ago. I think it was like right back when I started my channel. I was like, I like the Critters movies. Hopefully this one's watchable. I've heard the Shudder series that I'm about to go watch is just dreadful, and they're only like 8-minute episodes or something. So we'll see. Hopefully I can find some enjoyment out of it. But I liked this one. I think it's worth a watch as a Critters fan. I'm actually also going to watch the fan film Bounty Hunter, which I think I've seen, but it's got a lot of good buzz and praise for it. It's a few years old at this point, but I think I saw it, but I can't honestly remember. We'll see, but I'll talk about that probably when I do my new binge review. But overall, yeah, I think this is at Redbox. You're a Critters fan and you really enjoy practicals effects and you want to see like a cute gizmo-like critter, absolutely check that stuff out. It's rated R, which I don't feel like it needs to be. I don't really see a big reason this would need to be R. There's some gore gags and whatnot, but nothing to justify R. There's no cussing. The characters are never like sexual, or it's a bunch of kids. I didn't even give you a plot synopsis because a girl wants to go to this college and she can't get in, so she takes like sushi over to the campus, and then she gets a job babysitting to try to get in good with one of the chicks that works in the college. And while watching their kids, critters attack them, and then they bring the fight to the college, and the movie's over. There was really nothing there. I mean, it's just critters attack a couple random people, and the movie's over. Like, there's nothing, no real story. So. And all the dramatic, oh, my mom died and my friend never called me again, and my uncle who took me in and me don't get we don't really get along all that well, and I like this guy and this other guy likes me, and they're such throwaway characters, like the dude who's into her with the bagpipes, and the kid who, the jock guy who's on the campus, the friend character, the sheriff uncle guy, they're all just kind of meh. Like, who are these guys? Like, what? Okay, 2 minutes, they're gone. It's all just pointless throwaway shit, and it's there for like dramatic purposes. There's having these moments between them, and it's not like they're giving bad performances. They're not great performances. It's just kind of like, standard, like, up to par. Like, just kind of like, I guess that's what I asked of you. That kind of stuff. And you're just like, okay, moving on. Can you show the cute little fucking gizmo critter thing again? So yeah, anyway, all right, guys. Let me know if you saw it. Let me know if you check it out. It's at Redbox for $1.75. It's worth checking out, in my opinion. Let me know if you watch it. Adios.